By now, you must have heard about the luxury vehicle scam. Now, word on the street is that the authorities knew. Otherwise, how else could such a racket go on silently without anyone knowing? And by anyone, I mean the general public. There are too many hoops to jump through to import vehicles into Guyana. There is too much paperwork to fill out from different agencies, which have to be signed off by someone, by several individuals in authority, whether it's at the Customs and Excise Department or at the Guyana Revenue Authority or elsewhere. Welcome to the Final Takeaway audio podcast. You know what that means. It's time to grab your headphones and listen on the go. Since we're going to be focusing more on storytelling the old-fashioned way, we're here to focus on the issues and the consequences instead of photos and videos like you're used to by now. Stay with me as we try to unpack everything we know so far about this alleged luxury vehicle scam that allegedly has been going on for a long time, and scandalous rumors that it's a ring that involves people in high offices. This is a developing story, so we're asking you to share on all your social media as we ask this question: did the authorities know what was happening? In addition to what we're going to unpack today, there is a bigger, fundamental question we will ask right now before it gets lost in the details. Will the relevant authorities pursue these allegations and reports of import duties and tax fraud as vigorously as it is pursuing similar allegations against WIN's leader and Member of Parliament, Azruddin Mohammed? Will they be doing that? Let's dig into what we've uncovered so far. Over the last year, local newspapers and officials have been sounding the alarm. Reports talk about wrong engine sizes, false invoices, tampering with vehicle identification numbers, and millions in unpaid taxes connected to high-end vehicles entering Guyana. And here's the part that's raising eyebrows. The Guyana Police Force still hasn't clearly announced a full investigation into what some believe is an organized ring of fraudsters. For those who were paying attention, the first major public hint appeared in late 2024, when the Guyana Revenue Authority, that's the GRA, said it had uncovered a luxury car racket. They reported that cars were being declared with smaller engines than they actually had, meaning importers were getting away with paying far less in duties and taxes. Some cars were declared as if they had tiny engines, when in reality they had high-performance engines that should have cost way more in taxes and duties. The GRA also warned that some people were abusing the remigrant duty-free system by bringing in luxury vehicles using fake or questionable documents. Wait until you hear what happened next. As the months passed, the picture got worse. By 2025, reports came out about vehicle identification numbers, which we call VIN for short, VIN numbers that didn't match, vehicles with swapped identification tags, foreign invoices showing higher prices than what was declared in Guyana, and last but not least, questionable paperwork that somehow got approved. One major case is the one that involved a Lamborghini imported by the leader of the We Invest in Nationhood Party, Azruddin Mohammed, where U.S. documents showed a much higher value than what was declared when the vehicle was being cleared in Guyana. That discovery added fuel to the fire and raised questions about who approved what and why. Now let's talk about who could be involved. So Guyanese and those who are interested in this story, they want to know who could be part of this. Reporting points to several possibilities. 1. Certain auto dealers, middlemen who act as quote-unquote fronts. Thirdly, people misusing the remigrant system. And last but not least, and possibly insiders within the Guyana Revenue Authority or the Customs and Excise Department. And that's really the heart of the matter. Is this a system failure or a system being exploited from the inside? You gotta ask yourself that question. We're onto something. Now, here is how the scheme worked, allegedly, from what we're hearing. Let's create a scenario. A luxury vehicle arrives in Guyana. The importer files paperwork declaring a smaller engine or a cheaper version of the car. They pay far less in taxes. The authorities accept the paperwork, and the importer ends up paying far less in taxes. Then, after the vehicle is already in the country, someone regularizes the paperwork or adjusts the VIN number to make everything look legitimate. And if that process was being approved without proper checks, the big question is, were officials turning a blind eye, or were they part of it? Let me repeat that. Were officials turning a blind eye, or were they part of it? Now let's turn our attention to the timeline and the scale of this alleged scam, racket, whatever you call it. The timeline stretches from late 2024 right through 2025, but it could potentially go back, way back before 2024. During the time frame, there were more complaints, more reports, and more inconsistencies. And the potential losses? Millions, possibly billions of dollars in taxes if you add up the vehicles over that time frame. That's money meant for public services, roads, schools, healthcare, all for the benefit of people like you and your family that's down the toilet right now. Taking all that information in, I have some questions for authorities, and I'm feeling compelled to pose these questions because the Guyanese people deserve answers to every last one of them. The first line of questioning is this: how did this go unnoticed for so long? Was it weak checks, or was someone allowing it? The second line of questioning: are there corrupt insiders within the customs or the Guyana Revenue Authority? If so, why hasn't anyone been arrested? Now for the third question. If foreign documents were contradicting local declarations, why wasn't that a red flag strong enough to trigger a criminal investigation? Last but not least, the fourth line of questioning. Why hasn't the Guyana Police Force announced a full, transparent investigation? What are they waiting for? Since we're the one who seems more interested in finding answers, let's take a look at what should happen next. If this is a system failure, the fix is clear. Automatically, there is a need for stronger inspections, better digital tracking, mandatory VIN checks, and last but not least, cross-checking invoices with foreign agencies. But if this is corruption at its core, if insiders helped bring in luxury vehicles while cheating the system, then Guyanese authorities should consider these things: a forensic audit, criminal charges, asset tracing, and last but not least, full transparency. And by that I mean full and transparent investigation and full and transparent disclosure of the findings of that investigation. No one should be too powerful to investigate. Not businessmen, not dealers, not officials. Like I said earlier on, this is a developing story. This story, I think, is far from over. Because evidence exists, questions remain, and Guyanese deserve answers.